I'm Layla,
I'm Heather.
and today we have Rachel Burns with us.
Rachel Burns.
That's
Yay.
me here in the presence of greatness.
Yay. Wait, which greatness? Your greatness.
No, it's you guys.
The
It's
progressive greatness.
outdoing the work.
We love it. We're excited to have you. It was it was a journey getting together on here because you are
It
a
has
very
been.
busy woman.
And same to you both,
Yeah.
with your work at the Capitol, which we all appreciate.
Thank you. And thanks for putting out fires. That's kind of important.
It was that day. It was a bad one. It
It was a rough day. Oh my gosh.
was a bad one.
I know we hopped on just like the Facebook and saw like five different fires going on at the same time, all within probably like a 50-mile radius of where we live. And we were just like, oh, it says no, like it's a burn ban for a reason. What are you doing? So yeah, I went into that day like, I wonder if this isn't going to work out today
hmm
because I have a feeling she's going to be very busy.
We
So,
were. We were at that fire for 9 hours straight,
oh
and
my
then
God.
we got called back to the same one twice more later.
Oh,
So,
cool, cool,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
hmm
Multi-visit. I love it. So what district are you running for?
I am running for Iowa House District 7. We have 3.5 counties, which are Calhoun, Sac, Pocahontas, and Western Webster County.
Perfect. And you ran in the special election
I
and
did.
stole some votes from the other side.
I did,
And
and
now
had a
we're going
good
to steal
time.
more.
We are. That's the
Yes.
plan.
I love that. We always ask people what inspired them to run, and I want you to answer that question too, but I also want to ask you what inspired you to try again?
Okay. I guess I'll start chronologically then. Last summer, I was feeling the heaviness that we were all feeling of terrible things going on in our country. And those were compounded through my work as a volunteer first responder because really I saw some significant death scenes that stuck with me like a death scene would, but there was a homicide last summer. There was a suicide last summer that was extremely unfortunate. Both were extremely unfortunate. And it just kicked me into gear of like, hey, somebody has to do this and I'm capable of it. And so I ran full speed once I had announced that I'd run. About a week later, it became a special election. So jumped in full speed and then got a little bit of rest. And now I'm back at it because, again, Iowans deserve a choice no matter where we live. And somebody's got to do this, and I'm capable of it.
Absolutely. I love that you say that Iowans deserve a choice. And I think it's really important for anybody who's stepping up to run right now to recognize that, especially in the districts where we haven't found candidates yet, right?
Right.
Winning is not necessarily always the goal. Like you want that to happen, obviously. Everyone wants to win the seat. We want to do the job. But also we need to give people choices. There's a lot of
hmm
districts throughout Iowa who haven't had a choice for a long time. Ours is one of them. And I think it's really, really neat to see so many people stepping up and saying, you know what? Even if the odds are against me in this particular district, in this situation, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring because people deserve to have options. And I think
Right.
that's a really selfless kind of way to look at it.
And I will channel my inner Ryan Melton and tell you I am winning,
Yeah.
meaning we win every day when we put ourselves out there. And I was picking up fast food over the weekend. I had somebody cry because they felt represented by me and they hadn't had that experience before. Like, I am just here for a sandwich, and now we're having a moment involving tears, and that's a win. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the kind of win that is going to stick with us regardless of election outcomes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to celebrate that stuff because it absolutely keeps you going, right?
It does. And it
And
doesn't take a lot.
no,
Like one
no.
interaction like that will keep me going for a long time.
Yes. Do you have a primary opponent for the seat that you're going for?
I do not know if anyone else, no, a primary opponent. No, not that I
Okay.
know of. We
Okay.
don't anticipate one.
Right.
I love a good primary.
Mm-hmm.
I No, I don't anticipate one. And prior to me, there hadn't been a Democratic candidate in a while
Mm-hmm. Yep.
for this seat
Awesome.
anyway.
What do you think makes you different from other Democratic candidates?
Hmm. I think my district is what makes me different because I think one of the most important things, if you're going to run for anything, you're going to get a whole bunch of unsolicited advice and solicited advice. Some of it is great and you can't fit it in. Some of it is great and it aligns with who you are, and some of it will feel really inauthentic. And I think what makes me different or what makes all of us different is you have to know your district and you have to represent those people, your neighbors.
Yeah. Awesome. We always ask kind of what, like, do you have like a favorite political TikToker or a favorite podcast or something that you follow? We know everybody loves NPR and everybody loves
Right,
IPR, and we hate legacy media. So we are not going to be tuning in to the usual suspects. So we want to
mm,
broaden our base. Do you
yeah.
have any that you kind of follow along with?
You know, I can't think of any, and part of it is because I secretly hate TikTok.
That's fair.
Um,
That's
I
fair.
will embrace it moving forward because there's a lot of useful information there, but I just get overstimulated.
Valid.
My go-to podcast is more for education in a different world that I work in, and it's
Sure.
called Coroner Talk. So,
Okay.
um, I will have to think more, or maybe you should all send me some.
Yeah, we have a wealth of suggestions, a huge list that we've kind of compiled with candidates over time, and we were pretty um into it. I have pretty severe ADHD. I get distracted very easily, and I have about this much attention span, and you add
Mhm.
that into how busy we are all the time.
Right.
I do not have time to listen to 3 hours of news. I need it in short,
Right.
and I know that's terrible, and I need to
Yeah.
like lean away from that, but it's just
Yeah.
kind of a thing right now.
But
Um,
I mean, like everybody, I love the Brian Tyler Cohens of the world. I
oh
love
yeah.
Midas Touch, but I feel like,
Yeah.
I'm not adding anything new to this discussion.
Right. No, I get that. Okay, so next question is about corporate PAC money. It's a big conversation with many people. We have opinions, clearly. Do you take corporate PAC money, and do you vow not to take it while in office?
I do not and will not take corporate PAC money. That's an easy
Woo!
one.
We love it.
Easy.
Advocacy PACs, heck yeah. Like you're working for people, not for corporations, right?
Mhm.
That's the point. We need to work for people, not companies. Um, I think Layla, is that the next one's yours because I always
Yeah,
mess it up.
it's okay. Okay, so if you were to look at the legislature as if you're picking a major in college, what
Yeah.
would you major in and what would you minor in?
Ooh, this is a really good question because I love school. So I would cheat on this question and do a dual major of education and healthcare, and I would minor in public safety.
I like it. I love the public safety answer. Education and health care are pretty common, right? Like,
Right.
pretty common. Um,
Yeah.
but I love the public safety aspect of that. That's really
Yeah.
cool. And not something I think we've had anybody answer yet. So that one's
And really, it's
good.
just like okay, my day job, speech therapist. So yes, healthcare,
Yeah.
education. But the rest of my life, my service is volunteer EMT, volunteer fire, medical examiner, investigator. And so I really am working law enforcement adjacent
Mhm.
on the regular. And I think there's so much that like these small town fire services are struggling so much, and there's so much more that the state could be trying to do, but with the input of the voices who are out here doing the work.
Yeah, 100%. I think we we made a joke on the way home yesterday. because we obviously live in a pretty rural county, and we saw, I think, three different sheriffs,
Four.
Oh yeah.
four different
Oh,
sheriffs just kind of parked on the side of the road and chilling. And we were like, find something to do. But also I was like, maybe we should make the sheriff's department in rural areas volunteer. Like we can have volunteer sheriff's office, like we have volunteer fire departments,
Oh
and
wow. That
I
scares
say
grossly
no
me.
underfund them,
volunteers.
you know. And I was like, and
Hmm.
the thing is that's completely unserious, right? Because that is
Right.
craziness.
Terrifying.
Right. But also equally terrifying that we're doing the same thing with the fire departments.
Yes, it
Like,
is. Yes.
why are we
Yeah.
doing that? And now,
Hmm.
backstory, we've had two house fires. I
Oh
have had, yes,
no.
we have had two house fires. We lost everything in both of them. And one of them happened in Cedar Falls, which at the time had a really good fire department. That has
Hmm.
since changed a lot
Hmm.
with I don't remember what they call it, but they merged the fire department with the police, with the Cedar Falls, and
Okay.
now it's just like a public safety department. So it works
Okay.
quite a bit differently. But back then they had a really strong and healthy fire department. The other one was in Dike, which had a volunteer
Yeah.
fire department. Um, those were two very different experiences. So I think it's absolute insanity that we can fund full-time sheriff's departments, even when there's not a lot for them to do in a county where there's not a lot that's going on most often. But
Mm.
we can't fund the fire department that saves
Right.
people. Like, what are we doing? Yeah.
Like you want me to drive the truck, run into a burning building, and flip pancakes to pay for it? That
Right.
is why, like, that's
Yes.
nonsense. I
Yes.
am I am tired of cooking burgers.
I bet.
Like,
And
that's not how I
everybody,
signed up to serve.
right? Everybody loves those local fire department pancake breakfasts.
Hmm.
you know yeah, it's insane. Like, we've got the service to do it, and now we have to do more service to pay for it. Crazy, 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 crazy.
And
Anyway.
the same has been true for EMS essential services, which
Yeah.
is determined at the county level in Iowa. Um, is that even the counties that have been successful with passing that levy are now facing an issue with that money going to pay back pre-existing TIFs because there was an oops in the way the bills were written, and
Hmm.
this came up last year as a House file, and nobody's moving forward with it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that it's something we can all agree on, and it will not move forward.
And I think right now there's a lot going on in the state legislature with the way they're allowing counties and cities to use their
Hmm.
levies and their TIF funds and stuff. Which I am not a budget person. I'm not very good at navigating through those things, but the general idea of it is kind of gross. So
Right.
it's, in my opinion, gross overreach. But we won't, we don't need to dive into that today. We'll be here forever.
We will.
um, Layla, you keep going, I think. Yep.
yep. So what are some ways that you're active in your community?
That is an easy one for me. I have been a public servant basically my whole life because I like helping people, and that's my calling. So I worked probably 20 years in education. Right now, I'm a speech therapist in private practice. So I'm doing that kind of healthcare side of speech therapy. I am still an educator. I'm an adjunct professor for community college, and right now I'm teaching an EMT class for Ida County that is funded through their EMS Essential Services money, so they can get more volunteers by putting them through school. Um, Volunteer fire, volunteer EMT. Last year, I ran the most calls of my entire department, which I only brag about because I beat my husband by one call. Um, Medical examiner, investigator, we've talked about already. So on call for out of hospital deaths. That's pretty much all I do is serve my community, really, like, and sleep.
Sleep. And
If you
not
don't
much, I
live in
gather.
the community, if you don't know your community, what business do you have running to represent it?
Right. Right. And that's where I feel like I know people because I'm in their home on the worst day of their life. I'm seeing how they live. I'm hearing their struggles across the board. And the nice thing for speech therapy in private practice versus being when I was in schools is that I get time with parents and they tell me about real struggles beyond just parenting an individual with special needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a really controversial question, so if you need a second to think, that's okay. We can edit it out.
Okay.
Cats or dogs, and why?
Dogs, duh. Lawrence, come here. Um, because dogs. I have met so many dogs, great dogs, while door knocking. I mean, cats are cool. I have 2 cats, but I have 4 dogs. And this is Lawrence.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
And he's terrible and he's scraggly. And he was adopted from the Denison Pound, where I said, do you have an application? And they said, no. Do you have $15? So, dogs.
And you were like, that's it? Heck yeah.
Yeah, I was
That's
like, all right,
amazing.
I guess I'm qualified. I'm qualified then.
Right. We have 3
Oh,
dogs, so it depends on the day. One of those
Yeah.
dogs is a husky. And I feel like anybody who knows anything about dogs immediately knows what I'm talking about when I say one of them's a husky because he
Oh,
is they're so funny and he's so smart, but he's also so stupid at the same time and
the
really
Huskies I know just
oh
like to
my
take themselves out on walks. And like they'll go home later, but like I work in town in Kyron and sometimes I just see some of our Husky friends just cruising by.
nice.
Yeah.
Ours is just I can't think of the word for it. He's mischievous.
he's
He's
rambunctious.
rambunctious. He's got a lot of energy. He's
He
very
loves
cute,
chaos.
very sweet, very loving, and will chew on anything he gets his hands on.
Mm. We do have a healer who is not only a healer, but also my son named her Athena, and she is the goddess of war.
Oh,
So
fabulous.
kind of get that. Yeah.
That's nice.
She doesn't get to come to work with me.
That's fair. She should probably stay home.
Mhm.
Okay, what are your top priorities that are not healthcare, water quality, or education?
Ooh. Day-to-day survival. I mean, and healthcare and education, I feel like really tie into that as well, but um, just getting by, like, and that's what we hear at the doors. I hear a lot of that at the doors is things are so expensive. I don't have time to get involved politically because I'm just trying to get by. I'm trying to find childcare and pay for it and feed my family and deal with ever-changing rules regarding SNAP. And yeah, I just call it day-to-day survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you support the private school voucher program?
I do not. I think that program is a scam because it is unregulated and doesn't have a cap on it. And I have worked in public schools and private schools. I have been an employee of an Episcopal preschool. And then I've also been a long time AEA employee where I had assignments in private schools and parochial schools. And I just, I can't get behind that private, like public money is for public schools. And to watch our public schools deteriorate hasn't been fun. We already have choices. You can already choose private schooling, and there are a lot of grants and scholarships that can make that happen for individuals that want it to happen. We already have homeschooling as a choice. I was able to do that while working for 4 years for my kids. We have open enrollment as a choice. I have open enrolled my kids to 2 different districts outside of where we live because I do think educational choice matters.
Mhm.
but public money is for public schools.
Okay, a fun one. If you could pass legislation on a petty grievance, what would it be?
Oh, do I really admit it publicly like this? Motorcycle helmet laws. And maybe that's not petty. I don't know. I guess it's petty for me to force my idea of motorcycle helmets on people. But man,
Well,
helmets save lives.
yeah, and you've probably gotten to see that up close and personal. Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
in many, many ways.
And
Yep.
if we have to wear seatbelts in our cars, right? It's a law. We have
Mhm.
to wear seatbelts in our
Right,
cars. Then
right.
we should have to wear helmets on motorcycles.
Yeah. And like if you don't, then maybe your insurance looks different from those who do. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But
Anything,
it's an
honestly.
expense. I mean, the injuries that we see are an expense on all of us.
Yeah.
You know, because that's how healthcare works. All these costs are getting passed on to us.
Yeah.
And the devastation. Like I hate seeing families go through that. And helmets have saved my husband's life. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's petty at all, but
Mm-mm.
also still
I will
also
work on it.
still a great answer. The petty
It's
thing
like it's like my secret, like I didn't want anyone to know this, but now it's coming out. And now you know everything about me.
oh no. I think that like it's hard to come up with a like something like petty because I think not necessarily like our brains, my brain is not, but when you're running, your brain is wired to immediately think of things you can do that would actually help for good reasons,
Help
right?
people. Yeah.
Whereas I'm
Yeah.
like, I would make it to where my property taxes would cover snow removal, so I didn't have to do
hmm
it, you know.
hmm
So I think it's different when you talk to people that are actively running for office because they're like, man, what could I do? So it always becomes, even if it starts as a petty thing, it always ends in something that would help Iowans, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So don't feel bad about that.
Yeah. And I think like back to your first question or one of your first of what separates me from other candidates, I think I have this ability to see my constituents and see people as a big picture. And I'm not like, well, I'm running because of me. I'm running because this happened to my kid. It's really, I'm running to serve people.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is it's kind of supposed to be the point, right?
Which is also self-serving because we're all in this.
Yeah. What would you consider valid experience for someone who's running for Iowa House or Iowa Senate?
We need regular working Iowans to represent us. We need people who can listen and are willing to serve others. I don't care if you have a college degree. I don't care what kind of work you've done or if you're working within your home or out of it. Like we just need regular working people to show up and be our voice.
Absolutely. What kind, and we kind of touched on this earlier, but this is more about like campaigning because campaigning
Okay.
is so insane. And it is very time consuming. And I don't think a lot of people realize how much time you have to sacrifice to do this.
Right.
I think that's something that doesn't get talked about a whole lot when you talk about like elections and things that are going on, how much of your personal time and your family time
hmm
that you give up to go knock doors and phone
Right.
bank and go to events and host events and do all of the things. And it can be really overwhelming and really exhausting. And I think it's important that more people are honest about that. Um,
Okay.
so what is something that kind of keeps you going when you are tired or just
Right.
tired of all of
hmm Yeah, I think that knowing that this is the right thing to do drives a lot of us. I think looking at the devastation and how things have gotten worse and worse over the past year and a half drives a lot of us. But like we said earlier, it doesn't take a lot. Like one thank you for running or one tear at the sandwich shop can keep us going. We're getting hit with a lot of negative. We're getting a lot of social media ugliness. So just it doesn't take a lot, but the smile, the handshake, that was a great speech. You made me feel something. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm excited that you're running. Doesn't take a lot.
Yeah.
But I was door knocking a couple weekends ago and the people were not home. So I was leaving some literature and then walking away and they pulled in. They're like, hey, we're the homeowners. Like, what are you doing? I said, oh, my name's Rachel Burns. I'm a Democratic candidate for, and they just go, bless you. And so it's like that level of excitement is out there.
Yeah.
People are just scared to admit it in these red districts around their neighbors.
Yeah. I think with, you know, door knocking with Layla, um, it's really amazing. I think every candidate is like, "Oh, I don't want to door knock." Like
Mhm.
that when you go into it, you're like, I don't want to beat on people's doors and like
Uh-huh.
interrupt them. And
Right.
we've had, I don't think maybe like one experience where it was like, ew,
Uh-huh.
everyone else has been so lovely. And it is, and then I know I don't hear a lot of the stories because this is rural door knocking, so I'm driving the car, right?
Right.
Like I am
Yeah.
the chauffeur, but I know, Layla's had a lot of people that are similar and just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, or
Yes.
you're so young, why do you want to do this? And
Yes.
thank you. Like, and I think it's really like that's door knocking is a really good way to kind of like boost your spirits a lot of the
Oh,
time.
yeah. Yeah.
So
I
I
did
think that's
have
a really cool thing.
on the day of my special election, I was door knocking and this gentleman told me, I am 75 years old and no one has ever knocked to my door.
Mhm.
And he's like, where do I vote? And there were a couple like that day of were like, oh, this is happening and you're here, let's do this.
Yeah.
So that was really great. It is a great experience. And I have so many good stories from the doors, but
Yeah, I think door knocking will be something that I remember long, long
Mhm.
after we're all done with whatever this mess is right now that we're dealing with.
And that's how you meet people where they are and find out what matters.
Yeah.
Like they don't need to come hear me give a speech about what matters to me. But if we can find out, hey, like I see you couldn't get to an event because you've got 6 foster children that you're caring for right here. Like what matters to you?
Yeah,
They're going to tell you.
absolutely. Um, so what do you think your hottest take is? Kind of your most like I would say like controversial opinion, not one that's going to get you in any trouble, but
Okay.
like just kind of,
Yeah. And for my district too, with my district in mind, I would say it's not just the guns.
right.
Like I've got, it's the guns crowd has come at me. Guys, it's not just the guns. These are complex issues that require data collection and analysis before we can get to a solution. But even talking to my high schooler, like, Mom, nobody greets us at the front door
Mhm.
to check in on mental health or, hey, what's in your backpack today? Um, Mom, do you know that you can buy an AR for cheaper than you can buy a safe for guns?
Mhm.
Like just basic stuff. And I've got lists and lists of these thoughts on this complex issue. And it's not one that people necessarily want brought up all the time, but it's really an important one for my district is that we're not taking away your guns, but there's a complex issue going on with
Yeah.
violence that, as an EMT and a death investigator, this is scary and we need some progress.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's a really, it is a complex issue. And I think a lot of the reason people default to it is the guns is because they don't see any progress. They don't see anybody doing
Right.
the work to figure out how to, reduce the risk and to do the work to make this less terrifying, right? So they're like, well, if we can't focus on how to make this better, then take the damn guns away, right?
Right.
And I
Which is
think
war on drugs all over again.
it
And that
is,
didn't,
it
it
is.
didn't work.
No. And
Um,
I think like I think if people saw our legislature actually take a serious stance on what can we do,
right.
and to partner with whoever they need to partner to do the research and to
Yeah.
figure out how we can help this, I
And
think,
start somewhere.
yeah,
Like,
yes.
no, Iowa doesn't require that concealed carry permit anymore, but people still offer and take that class.
Yeah,
So why doesn't your CCP class have a hands-on component?
right.
Why is this a classroom class? I mean, why don't we have universal background checks? Just some of those that,
Yes.
hey guys, this could be better for all of us. And from my perspective, I'm not just worried about kids in schools.
Right.
I have done many, many death investigations on older white men who have committed suicide with firearms.
Yeah.
And again, with it being a complex issue and all the interconnectivity of all these topics, a lot of them have cancer. Like we've got to get to the bottom of healthcare, including mental health care.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
because the interconnectivity is crazy.
Yeah. I would completely agree with that. Okay, so next question is very similar but different.
Okay.
It
Okay.
would be, what is your wokest take? So, the one thing that would
Mm.
make certain people call you like a bleeding heart liberal or a
Mm.
lefty or
Oh,
whatever.
sure, sure.
We like being
Love your
called that.
neighbor. My wokest take is love your neighbor.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's what we're about, guys. Like,
Yeah, we talk
come
about
at us
community.
with all the names you want, but at the bottom of this is love your neighbor.
Yes, because we're fighting for you too,
Uh-huh.
right? Um, okay, so what is something that you've learned about yourself from, your run and campaigning and doing all of this?
Hmm. I don't know. I was pretty self-reflective before, analytical of myself before all of this. So, um, I guess I've learned that I'm really likable in groups of people who care about people.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it feels heavy out here in these rural areas to be like, oh, there's Rachel, like with her ideas. But then when you start campaigning and you meet people either where they're at their doors or at events,
Mhm.
um, it's like, oh, like,
Right.
oh, I'm
Maybe
a
they're
nice
not looking
person.
at me like I'm this
I'm a nice
crazy.
person who's trying to help people. I'm not just, yeah, crazy and alone out here in this.
Right. Okay, so we have something we call rapid fire. It's not really rapid fire at all. It's two questions. You
Okay.
Yes or no questions. You can expand on them if you'd like to,
Okay.
do not have to.
Okay.
Are you pro-choice?
Yes.
Perfect. And then do you support LGBTQ plus, specifically trans rights?
Yes.
Very good.
Absolutely. And I will
Fantastic.
expand just a touch, and it's interesting that I focus so much on my public safety roles because, again, day job, my whole life, my whole career has been education and healthcare. But the drive behind some of what I do does come out of my volunteerism. Um, until you have run suicide or attempted suicide calls on children because they feel different and not accepted, you should not be opening your mouth to take people's rights away.
100%. Yes. We could scream into the void for a really long time about both of those
Yep.
things, which is why
Yep.
we kind of framed it the way we did, because if you get us started,
You're like,
there's no ending it. Like
right,
we'll be here
rapid
for
fire, but I
days.
have more to say. Yeah.
Right. Always. Okay, so 2 more questions left.
Okay.
Next one, why should your constituents vote for you?
Wow. Because I'm a public servant who has the experience, desire, and intelligence to make your everyday life better for you.
Perfect. And then share your socials, your website, all of the things, the ways that people can get a hold of you, and then end with your big ask.
Oh, okay. So much. Can I keep track? Burnsforiowa.com is the website. You should be able to get to other things there because my son made my website. My daughter made a link tree. So I'm on Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram, I think as Rachel Burns for Iowa. I will have to restart TikTok, much to my dismay, but I promise to get on it at some point. My big ask, guys, being a candidate is a lot like crowd surfing. We cannot do this alone. If there is not a mob of hands holding you up, we are at very real risk of getting dropped on our heads. It's kind of fun, but also not fun, and it's scary, and we need all those hands holding us up. So I need everybody to be more engaged and braver and doing more than they are right now. And that's the big ask. And second big ask, run for something. You can do this. You do not need to be perfect. Run for something. Do not leave these seats uncontested, no matter what it is.
100%. We love that. We echo that and ask the same. Run for something, please. You do not need permission to run for office. That's a really big kind of misconception, is that you need the permission of your party to run. You don't.
Oh no.
We promise. Do it anyways, because in the end, you're running to fix things that haven't been fixed yet, and there are many reasons for that, and sometimes that includes the party that you're with. So yes, run for something. Also, donate the money. Candidates do not win on hopes and dreams.
No, pick somebody and throw some money their way.
Yes.
Because in my special election alone, I documented 4,666 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not even talking time away from work.
Right.
All the unhealthy food that I had to eat out of convenience.
The amount of drive-thrus and gas stations.
Which doesn't come out of my campaign funds. But guys, we're giving a lot of ourselves. And so if you can find somebody and back them, every little bit, every bit helps.
Keep in mind that Republicans have a war chest. They have bottomless pits of money.
They do.
That they get from corporations to vote against you.
They do.
So
they absolutely do.
Every single candidate running in the state of Iowa for a Democratic seat is up against someone who has an unbelievable amount of money backing them. So they need it. They need your $5. They need your dollar.
Yes, we do.
Need their $50.
We'll take it.
Yeah, donate the money. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. It was fun. We're watching your race, obviously. We've been watching, and we will keep watching. We're rooting for you, and we hope it really goes the way it should this time.
That's the plan.
Awesome. All right, you're free.
Thank you.
Yes, have a good day.
Maybe I'll come alive.